Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Friday afternoon training sessions. Hello, Glenn.
Hello.
We're just getting started, and today we're going to go through Google Analytics and just some basics on how to use that. So just about every website will allow you to use Google Analytics, and you'll see that Google Analytics usually just adding some sort of a tracking ID to your website. So each website has a different, unique way of doing that. If you're using an Integrity New Home site, for example, you'd add that detail in the admin panel. So Analytics allows you to just look through and see how your website's performing, what sort of users you're attracting, and how pages are performing in general. All right, so in your admin panel, you'll notice you've got your Google Analytics tracking ID here, and click on the Edit button. That will allow you to paste that detail in here. All right, so this is assuming you've already got an Analytics account. So to do that, you'd have to sign up for Google Analytics. So if you just do a quick search for Google Analytics and just go to the Analytics site, you'll need to have a Google account. And once you do, you could sign up and just flow through the process on this website here. Once you have an account, it'll look something like this. And if we go to the admin section here, there's a button at the bottom left-hand corner we can see. I'll just open that in a new tab. And the admin will look something like this, and we're looking for the section here that says, tracking info is what we're looking for. So if we click on that one, you'll see there's a tracking code option here. And if you're maintaining your own website, you might need to put all this code in. But most websites will have a way of just putting that little section in here just for that code where it says UA1646 and those numbers. So that'll be unique to your site. You'll just cut and paste that section in and pop that into your website. So today I'm just looking at a INH Sunshine Coast website here, and probably I'll just go through a few interesting things that you can easily do. You'll notice this is a live view and just popped up right now. It says there's one user active on the site. All right, so it shows us an approximate location where they are in Sydney. These little bars here sort of indicate when people have turned up on the website. So this is 21 minutes ago, there was someone there. There's also someone there 18 minutes ago looking at 3 pages. So over time, this page will move through, depending on whether they're moving through your site or they've left the site to go somewhere else. Let's see if I can make that 2 by signing up here as well. I'm just visiting the About Us page on this page here. And you'll see right there, we've got now 2 active visitors. So I'm one of those visitors that we can see here. All right, so as you move through the site, if I go to the news site, for example, given enough time, you should see this update just to reflect where that particular user is on the site. So you won't see identifiable information, it's just an indication that someone is looking at that page. There's lots of different options here. But I'll show you some of the more interesting ones. So if we go down to audience, you may find some use in this. Like you might find, if we look at some demographics here, we can find an age breakdown. That's not what I was expecting to see. I'll try the overview. Okay, so here it's saying there's 11 users here, females. But what we might do, if you have a look, there's a date section at the top right-hand corner here. So this looks like it's only showing us the last week worth of data. So if we expand that, and there's a drop down here, we can go to, say, the last 30 days and apply that. we've got more of a spread here. So we've got our age ranges. So we've got our 25 to 34 age group, 35 to 44, and 55 to 64. So it's a pretty even spread of ages here, and a pretty even split between male and female, 51 versus 48%. So you can expand that further if you want to go to the start of the year. You could pick on January, and it'll take us all the way through to the current date. Gives a bit more of a spread there, and looks like predominant users are females on this site. Okay, so I've expanded that date range. That should stick with you as you progress through analytics. And now I've actually got some data here to look at. So you can see there's 133 users in that 45 to 54 bracket in this date range. All right, we'll see this quite a bit in some of these reports here. We've got our bounce rate. So the bounce rate will actually show us the percentage of people that have left the site without doing too much on the site. So they visit a page and then quickly leave without actually looking at the page or looking at other pages on the site. So from this, we can see that the 65 age bracket, 53% of those people that hit the site would bounce off the site very quickly. And it looks like the most engaged audience range is in the 45 to 54 age bracket. All right, we go into acquisition, and we'll go to all traffic. And this is one of my favorite ones here. We get the source and medium. So if we click on this one, all right, it's telling us how we've got access to, or how we acquired the audience to the website. So on this particular site, the majority of users have come from Google cost per click. So there's some ad campaigns running for Google that's brought in just over 1,000 users to the site over that time period. We've got our organic, Google organic. So this is people that have typed in keywords and found you on the Google search engine. And this is an interesting one here, the direct none. So this is when people directly type in your web address, or got links, or they're using browsers that don't track where these people have come from. So a majority of these direct and none visitors will actually be Google organic results. So you could almost combine these two together. But we can have a look through here and see how effective our Google cost per click is. And we'll just have a look at that, looking at our bounce rate, and we'll compare that against the organic. So you'll see here that 62% of our Google cost per click, they've left the site very quickly. So they've typed a keyword search into Google, clicked onto your site, thought it wasn't appropriate, and left straight away. That's 62% of those people. In comparison, we've got our Google organic results. So they've typed their keyword search into Google, they've actually clicked on you organically rather than a paid ad. And only 28% of those people have bounced off the website. We carry on a bit further, we can see some more detail about what happened with these users as well. So we've got our pages per session. So for those people that have clicked on an ad and arrived on your website, on average, they've gone through almost 3 pages. So they might click on 3 pages on your site before they leave the site. Now we'll compare that against the Google organic, and they're doing 5.5 pages on average they're looking through. So they're spending more time on the site, they're more engaged in your site, being organic. So you can see it's quite important to build up your organic traffic because it's attracting better, more qualified users to your site. Another interesting one here is the amount of time they spend on the site. So it's no surprise that if they've gone through 5.5 pages, they've spent more time on the site. So we'll see here, on average, they're spending 3 minutes, 24 seconds looking through your website, as opposed to the Google cost per click, they're only spending 1 minute and 44 seconds. So some other ones here, we've got Bing Organic, which is obviously nowhere near as large as Google, but the list will keep going on. So we've got our EMS as well. So if you're doing email campaigns, you can see the number of users you're attracting from these campaigns here. So this is showing the top 10. So all of analytics works the same way. And you'll notice down the bottom right-hand corner here, we've got this little drop down. We can say, give us the top 25, top 50, top 100. You can see there's lots of ways you're acquiring users. A lot of these are only one user over that time period. Now, this is a bit of a graph showing you the number of users that have hit on any particular day. So you click here, you can say on the 10th of July, we've had 32 users hit this site. Now, you can actually group this together just to give you more of a trend on what's happening here by day or by week. So this is the weekly numbers. So we've had 75 users per week here, 135 users per week here. So I find that it's much better to use week or month to give you an indication on what's happening on the site, just because it averages it out a lot nicer. So this will give you the monthly number of users. It's slowly trending up here. If we can keep that going, that'd be great. You'll notice here it's only started around April, May. That's because that's when the Google Analytics code was added to the website. So you can have this running for years and years, and you've got access to lots of data historically. Now, all of these here, these source mediums, we can click on to dive in just to this data here. So if we wanted to know the trends for this Google organic searching, we can just click on that link. It's kept this monthly for us. And now the data we're looking at is just for this organic searching. This is the number of users that have found you organically. So we're only part of the way through December here. So with any luck by the end of December, that'll creep up nice and high for us. All right, we'll have a quick look at referrals. This is also a nice, interesting one. You can see where people have found your site on other websites. So there's not too many here, but we've got, say, Integrity Franchising. We've had 3 users click through from this integrityfranchising.com.au website to arrive at the Sunshine Coast website here. So it's got a fairly good bounce rate, only 33% have bounced off, and a nice number of high pages per session. So I'll just go back. I'll just explain what these users and new users section is here as well, these 2 different columns. So users are the number of users that have hit your website. New users, the number of users that have never been to your site before. So in this time period, just 100% of these people basically are new users to the website. All right, the sessions is the number of times they've visited the website. So these 572 users have come back and visited 669 times. So some people have visited multiple times throughout this time period. So hopefully you're getting more and more people visiting more regularly. Means you've got nice content and they're revisiting your site often. So we'll move on down to behavior and go into site content. And we'll just look at all pages here. Okay, so this is a list of every single page on your website if it's been clicked on throughout that time period. So you can see the most used web page is the homepage, Sunshine Coast. So we've got nearly 2,500 page views on that one. So I just clicked on that, so it took me just to the data just for this page. So you can see the trend for the homepage trending upwards there. All right, so let's have a look at a page like this one. There's a custom designs page. And this will tell you over time how many page views that page has had on its own. All right, so very useful if you're running some sort of a campaign and you're trying to bring people to a particular page. You can see how effective this is and the dates and times that it spiked. So you could go to a day view and we'll have a look at that custom designs again. And you can see which days actually trended really high. So you'll find if you did some sort of a campaign, like an email campaign, there might be 2 or 3 days in the middle here where you've got a really high spike of the number of views on that page. And that would indicate that your email marketing campaign is working. All right, so that's our page views here. We've got our unique page views column. So this is, as it says, unique. So you'll have page views. Some people might visit this home page 2 or 3 times in a single session, but the unique page views will only count that once. And the others should be pretty self-explanatory. We've got the average time on that page. So if you've found a page with really good content, people will spend longer on that page to read through it. And again, we've got our bounce rates. All right, so these entrances, this entrance column will actually let you know how people are arriving on your site. So most people are arriving directly onto the home page, but some people are arriving directly on the designs page, and quite a large number here, 27%, are arriving on the About page. So they're more than likely searching into Google, finding the About page link and clicking on that to arrive on the site. All right, but you can see here we've got a bounce rate of 20%, which is nice and low on this one, or even 6% on this one here. So if people arriving on the custom design site, we've got a very low bounce rate. So that might be a really nice page to try and put some more effort into to keep people engaged on your site and to promote that page. All right, we'll just go to landing pages. Okay, so landing pages are a little bit like we were talking about just before. So this will tell you the pages that people have landed on directly onto your site. So it won't have all the pages. It's only pages that have where someone has arrived on that page for the very first time. All right, so you might find there's some pages that will never show up in this report because you always click through. So they might arrive on the designs page and they'll click onto a particular design, but maybe they never show up in a Google search engine. Let's have a look at 250 pages. So we look down, there's all of these designs here that people are landing on, but there's only 4 people at a time, 4 people in that time period that land directly on that site. We have our exit pages here. So this is the page where people are leaving your site. So it means they've turned up to the About page here and they've left your page. So they've read the About page and decided to leave the site and go to somewhere else. All right, so there's a lot of things you can do with Google Analytics. We've got events here, which I don't think is set up in this account, but you can set up events to say something like if someone fills out a contact page, to flag that as an event. And that way you can keep track of, say, how many people are filling out a contact page and find out whether they were a pay-per-click or a Google organic search. So very useful to fill those out, but that's a topic for another time. So that was our basics of Google Analytics and how to get through that. If you've got any questions, please let me know. If we've got no questions, I'll call that a wrap and we'll see you all again next week. Thanks for joining, everyone. Talk to you soon.